All right. Sent out the tweet letting the masses know that we're live. And here we are. So let's get to it. All right. Let's get everyone up to speed. I am in Garlemald. I've done... Let's see. What have I done so far? One Endwalker dungeon. The level 81 dungeon. Okay. Did the Tower of Zot in Thravnir, which was where we went back to after our adventures in Sharlayan. At the end of our adventure in Sharlayan, we were brought in front of the... what are they called? The Forum. Which is like their governing body, right? With all the people in it. And they tried us to see if we would be kicked out of Sharlayan because we're meddling with their plans. We also found out that the great cause that they're doing in Sharlayan is actually something they can't talk about because they have been magically forced not to talk and spoil what's going on with their great plan. The only way to break that enchantment is for a majority. I think it's a super majority. I don't remember if it was 2/3 or more than that, but a super majority of the forum have to agree to reveal their plan for any single one of them to be able to talk about it. And anyone who gets brought into the conversation, like anyone who is informed of the plans beforehand, must also have this enchantment placed on them. So even like run-of-the-mill workers, if any of them are involved with the great plan of Sharlayan, whatever that may be, they're unable to speak of it unless the forum agrees to lift the enchantment. We are in Garlemald. We just got here. I had to do this cool like multi-phase duty to enter, but this is where we entered in Camp Broken Glass. We got to just kind of talk a little bit. We followed this girl here because we saw her, or we found her in like the ice wastes running around because we were looking for survivors to help, because the whole mission that the NPCs are giving us is we're in Garlemald, we're here to assist anyone we can, not to attack or do any kind of like, we're not attack, we're not to kill any Garleans. We just want to knock them out, imprison them, and then take care of the tempering from the towers so that they're no longer brainwashed. Granted, we're in a place, Garlemald, where the people are essentially brainwashed anyway. So like, you know, think of, if you want to relate it to real life, Garlemald is like the CCP, where everyone in the country, you know, CCP regarding like China, is fed all their information by the government, and any information that goes against or doesn't agree with the information from the government is not given to the people. So we're handing out warming tinctures to the people that we found here. There's 4 of them. We're giving them something to keep them warm, because even though it's raining, the raining is just like a thing that's happening right now. It's actually just freezing cold because we're in the ice wastes. Are you part of the group staying in Laterum? I saw Legatus Regalia's troop heading toward the Magna Glacies a few days ago. Are they the ones you encountered? Camp Broken Glass, you call it, and Virgilia and her, or Regalia and Ren are there now. So how did you reach the Magna Glacies? Did you cross the mountains on foot? Airships. Then there might be a way to... Asinio, where is everyone? Oh, there's another person here. Is something the matter? A voice from inside, you say? You must be imagining things. Everyone's out here. Perhaps a baby Almasty has found its way into the house. Wouldn't be the first time. Without soldiers to scare them off, wild animals have been roaming closer to the settlement. Some have been known to attack people, too. I have just had an idea. If you and yours are strong enough to defeat a legatus, then surely a few beasts shouldn't pose a threat. Right. If you've a mind to continue helping us, perhaps you could head to the other side of the lake. There's a small group of tappers living there, people whose job was to extract ceruleum. They still do, from what we can tell. I've already tried to ask if they would share the fuel with us, but they're not willing to give it away. They want food in exchange. Lots of food, and that's something we don't have and can't get on our own. On top of that, to even reach it then, we have to make our way past all those creatures. Would you be willing to go in our place? We only need enough ceruleum to last till the others are strong enough to travel to your camp, if the offer still stands, that is. Oh, and I don't expect you to give your own supplies, but there may be another way to pay the tappers. If it's ceruleum you need, then ceruleum you shall have, or you'd better wash it out for baby Almasties while we're away. Ooh, the snide remark. I'm gonna go with that. Look at my face. Ah, yes, of course. If I see any, I'll be sure to shoo them away. Yeah, okay. To reach Tapper's Den, you'll have to cross the lake. The ice is thick enough to support a person's weight, but if you'd rather not take the risk, you'll need to take the long way around. Finding the entrance can be a bit tricky too, so it's easier to just look for someone standing guard outside. However you decide to head there, please be careful. Let's do it. Let's go. There's a fate going on too. I'm gonna see if I can. How much? 0% progress. So I'm gonna go do the fate. Since I've just gotten here, I want to try to get some fates done, because if I can complete fates, then I can buy a riding map, and that'll let me walk around faster. So, oh, also, whoops, I had a thing opened up. Had something opened up with Aether Currents. Alright, let's get over here. Oh god, that thing's huge. I probably shouldn't have gotten off the chocobo yet. Jeez. Speaking of chocobo, come on out. Put you in healer stance. Alright, let's do this. So we're still playing Summoner. Summoner is still lots of fun, because we get to just straight up summon our burst right at the beginning of the fight. And then, you know, we get to like do a bunch of other summons in between. Like there's Garuda, and that gives me wind attacks. And then I bring out Titan, like the actual Titan. My little guy just looks like Titan because I put a skin on him. And then we do Ifrit. There's my 2 rubies, and now I'm just casting Ruin. Now we summon Phoenix, and we start the whole process all over again. Well, that's it for summoner rotation. It's honestly, I mean, I'm sure there's something that I'm missing, like obviously I can use the buff, which is only accessible when my carbon goes out. But I can use the buff, Searing Light, that gives me a little bit more damage. I could have opened up with that and done more damage during my initial burst with Bahamut, because Bahamut does more damage than Phoenix does. But regardless, it's all good at the end of the day. Goes Ifrit. And now we're just casting Ruin for a couple seconds. We can do Ruin 3 or Ruin 4 since we have the proc for it. Boom, 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 boom. There's Bahamut again with the big damage. You are off GCDs here. We have cooldown. It's a minute, and then every time we energy drain, we get 2 stacks of Fester, basically 2 Aether charges, which let us cast Fester. So every minute we get 3 off global cooldown casts. And then our other off global cooldowns are ones we activate when we summon Bahamut or Phoenix. But I usually just throw them all out right at the beginning. I'm sure there's like, you know, a much more refined way to use them. But it's basically these 2 buttons here. Whatever. So like Enkindle and Astral Flow. So anytime I summon, thing is adorable. I'm pretty sure that's a storm mount though. Fat cat. Okay. I can lower it. Whoa. Thank you for letting me know. That should be good. Yeah, I know. I'm not worried about it anymore. You guys can see my chat. It's just people in my free company talking. I had it covered because I was worried about spoilers and stuff, but like honestly, if I just do this, you don't have to worry about anything. You can just see my battle log. At the end of the day, I don't need to do all that, and I don't have to do any weird customizing and resizing in the middle of a stream. Yeah, so I should be louder than the music now, or the game in general. And I could, of course, adjust that more if we need to later. I wanted to pull up this Aether Current map. Oh, look, there's fates everywhere. Let's go do some fates. This one's got bonus experience, doesn't it? Yep, experience bonus applied. So let's go do that real quick. So that we can buy a riding map as soon as we are back in like the main settlement or whatever. I will gladly take some extra experience. Oh, what is that thing? Looks cool. It's like an Imperial robot of some sort. Also, we shouldn't be having any more issues with sound with the game and my controller because new controller. Manned death machine. All right, so enkindle, rekindle. All right, I didn't do my buff for the burst, which is fine. I'll just activate it as soon as we go off into this. So there's my buff, and now we just use all of our cooldowns. Yeah, if anything, I'm just gonna keep my chat on the combat log unless we go into a dungeon. Mainly because like a lot of people in my FC are already done with the story, so honestly, like I can't like blame them if they. I'm gonna just move over right here. There we go. Obviously I didn't go in the direction it wanted me to, but whatever. Alright. Bahamut, Enkindle, Magitech. Nice thing about using Bahamut and Phoenix is your Ruin becomes an instant cast, so I can just run circles around enemies like this and keep doing damage and not like lose any uptime. Like I don't have to stand still and cast, except when I've exhausted every other thing. Like even right now, the only thing that has to be hard cast is when I have Ifrit up. So like right after I use this last earth. Ooh, Forlorn Maiden's here. I'll be taking care of that in a moment. I'm gonna just drop the Forlorn Maiden with Phoenix. Here we go. There we go. Alright, cool. Forlorn Maiden's dead. Pretty sure killing the Forlorn Maiden, it gives you an experience buff. Use Ruin 3. And now we just continue with our same little rotation we've been doing here. I can honestly say, like, when we compare this to how it was, what, 3 weeks ago when I was leveling Ninja, it's so much less stressful. You know, I don't have to worry about, like, missing up one ninjutsu and, like, all of a sudden, like, my damage is, like, nothing. So that's really nice. Boom, 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 and drop. Cool. Done. Oh, look at that. There's a lot of experience. I wasn't expecting that, even with the bonus. Wow, that took us way out of the way. Okay, I want to pull up this Aether Current map real quick. We're actually close to an Aether Current over here, which I guess I'll just go to real fast. So, you know, remember, Aether Current's main reason we're even looking out for them at this point is we want to make sure we are picking them up, like, so that the moment we finish the last, like, story Aether Current quest, we're flying. I didn't do the Aether Currents and Shadowbringers, and, like, at the end when I was doing all the post MSQ stuff, it was honestly like torture having to run back and forth. Is it on top of here? I think it's on top, which means I may not be able to get to it right now. Oh no, I went the wrong way. It's in this little... Yeah, it would help if I went the right way. It's up there. There it is. Cool. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Aether Current. Gimme. And there's another one directly east of us, right around where that fate is that just spawned. So let's go 2 for it. During that fate, was it easier to hear me, or was the music still really loud? Because I can still, like, adjust. The thing is, when I adjust volume for you guys, it doesn't adjust volume for me. The sound coming into my headphones is completely separate. I'm adjusting volume for you in OBS, not on, like, my end. So you gotta let me know if it's still bad. Thank you, my dear. I appreciate your help very much. Progress 0%. Doesn't look like anybody's doing it. Look, there's cars. Cool. It's cool because, like, so a little backstory, right? Why does all this matter? Why is any of this, like, special? We're in Garlemald. The whole thing about Garlemald is the people of Garlemald don't have access to magic. They're not a magical people. So they don't have access to, like, any of the magical things that, like, we have access to in the other nations. None of the stuff that, like, we can do, any of the, like, teleportation and stuff, summoning crystals and all that, like, they don't have that. They don't have people in their society even that like cast magic, right? So Garlemald is more of like a technocratic like civilization. So all of their advancements are technological, not like mystical. So that's part of what like makes this all like really cool, because like where we came from, Eorzea, there's no cars. Like even when we did like the Final Fantasy 15 tie-in quest to get like our flying car that we got, like the special quest that it was for, even Sid, you know, the master engineer, was like, what is this? Like, what is this vehicle? Like, how does it work? Which of course then kind of like doesn't make a lot of sense, because Sid is a Garlean, and if there's cars here, he's probably familiar with them unless they were created after he defected from Garlemald. Whatever the case may be. Oh, that was funny. I don't know if you guys saw the name of the fate that we just did, but it was called Metal Gear Solid. You know, reference to MGS. Aether current should be right inside here. There it is. All right, and now we'll continue. That was 3 fates we've completed, because I did one before stream started. I was in a fate, so that's 3. So next time we are over, I think over here probably, we should be able to purchase a riding map, and that will let us move a little bit faster while we're in this area. So now we're gonna head along with the MSQ. Again, like she said when she sent us down here, we are approaching the people who mine the ceruleum, and in exchange for ceruleum they want food. And I'm gonna go ahead and assume, you know, because that's all I can think of here, is we're gonna get here, we're gonna talk to the Garlean, and he's gonna be like, oh, you want to get us food? Kill some of the local wildlife, and 2 birds, 1 stone it. You take care of our monster problem, we get food. What do you mean I stand out like a sore thumb? If the pure bloods over at Victor Spoils hadn't given away our location, you'd never have found us. Those stuck up a-holes thought they could come waltzing in here demanding ceruleum with nothing to offer in return. Ha, looks like the boot's on the other foot. Now the capital's gone to shit. So they resort to sending you to negotiate. I know your game, Sellsword. If they think we'll give into intimidation, they've got another thing coming. Bad move. I would have given in to intimidation if I were you. Mainly because now you're being lit on fire by a giant firebird. Sure, that don't feel good. Am I dead yet? Oh, they disappeared. Did I kill them? Whoops. Doodle. There you are. Just after you left, Licinia asked me to go and catch up with you in case you needed a hand. Someone must have let slip that I have a little experience in transporting barrels of ceruleum. So this is Tappers then. Well then, after you. Who are you? What happened to the guards? Well, they attacked me, so I killed them. Eorzeans and rebels here to save the people of Garlemald? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why in the hells would you pass up this chance to put those Imperial bastards to the sword? Let me guess, none of you are Garlean. You were brought here from other lands. You're Albania, Janshi, Boja, Dalmasca, to name a few. Some dragged here against our will, others fed bollocks about a better life, all put to work extracting ceruleum. All given the esteemed title of An, placing us firmly on the bottom rung of society. The old hierarchy means nothing in the new Garlemald, says we. About the only thing that's escaped more or less unscathed is Cerulia Ignis. Engines. Still sustaining us even with our paymasters out. We hear you're experts in drawing up ceruleum from the bottom of the lake, but how can you do that if it's frozen over? Probably not auto skip. Ah, wouldn't you like to know? Trade secrets, I'm afraid. At any rate, if it's not as if ceruleum's used for much these days, what with the city in ruins, we take enough to power our heaters and save the surplus for later. And though it helps stave off the cold, it does sod all about our hunger unless we can trade it away. Speaking of which, be sure to tell your contingent that we've got ceruleum by the barrel full. If they're interested, we'll exchange it for whatever provisions they're willing to spare. We can certainly ask, but if you're all free to go now, why carry on living here? Free to go? Go where? Even if we managed to get back to our homelands, there'd be nothing left for us thanks to the Empire, and the knowledge and skills we acquired working here would be practically useless outside of Garlemald. So we're staying for the time being. Long as there's need for ceruleum, we'll find a way to get by, even if Garlemald as we know it is gone for good. Makes sense. Gone for good, he thinks. She ponders. Gone for good, she says. Regardless of what the Ilsebard contingent does for the people of Garlemald, the Empire itself is already a thing of the past. For many, that would be a cause for celebration, all while for others, their whole way of life will have been turned upside down. After all the atrocities committed in the Empire's name, perhaps it is for the best that is consigned to history. But what of the ordinary people, their lives, their stories? Should they be forgotten too? I suppose there'll be plenty of time to ponder that later. For now, let's see about getting some ceruleum. Jarek is amenable to making a deal. Let's make a deal. So you've come seeking ceruleum, have you? What? Those purebloods up at Victor's Spoils sent you? Turn to their enemies for help. They must be more desperate than I thought. Then again, Licinia's got her little sister to think about. A sister? But we only saw Licinia and 3 men. It's possible she died from whatever was ailing her. If she needed treatment, I doubt there'd be any way to get it around here. I may have refused Licinia at first, thinking she'd come back with something to exchange, but I can spare them a bottle's worth of ceruleum. Consider it a reward for introducing me to the rest of your contingent. Be sure to send them our way, you hear? Okay. I can't for the life of me think why Licinia would keep her sister a secret from us, but we can ask about that after we've delivered the ceruleum. Come on, let's hurry back. And then we get back and they're gone, is what I'm guessing. Because of course, that's how the story goes for dramatic effect. Oh, the girl and her poor sickly sister. They ran away while you were out. It's enough to break your heart. Something along those lines. Oh, and if we turn the corner right here, haha! I'm not sure I'll be able to get this last one that's down here, but if my map sense of direction is correct, it's going to be right over here. Somewhere. Yeah, it's supposed to be like, I think it's gonna be like on top of those pipes right there, which I'm not sure I can get on top of. I might have to like, let me just make sure. Yeah, see, it's right there. And I'm assuming to get on top of the pipes, we have to go up those stairs and do like a weird little hippity hop. Weird little hippy hoppy. Well, there's the Almasties that they were talking about. Can I do a little hippy hop onto the pipe from these stairs? Or is it gonna block me with an invisible wall? Aha! The aether current is mine! Oops. Bloop, 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 bloop. But yeah, so back to the whole technology thing. When we were treating the survivors, they were listening to a radio, and it blew our main character's mind because we don't, like, Eorzea doesn't have radios. They have link pearls, which are, I don't know, cell phones they put in their ears and can talk to each other and call each other at any point. They don't have freaking radios. Something about like the technological advancement of like our nation and where like we came from, like Eorzea and the continent and all that, is way off when you think of like the fact that, you know, we've got airships and we've got in-ear cell phones and, you know, weird like other stuff. We don't have cars. We don't have radios. We don't have like things that like in your head you would think would be along the way. Hell if I know. What? She's not by the door? Uh-oh, she must have left. This isn't right. It's too quiet. I would have thought Alphino would still be treating them by the fire, but they're nowhere to be seen. I'll look inside the house while you search outside. Great. Well, yeah, Alphino is with them. Where did he get off to? Has he been taken hostage? Because, first off, how? There were refugees, and you have weapons. They knock him out and put him behind the house. There's a refugee. Did he knock them out? They asked me to help carry supplies, but when I followed them back here, they attacked me. Caught me off guard, forced me to defend myself. I fear they fared rather worse than me. You can't fool us. We know what you're about. Vultures, that's what you are. Waiting on the wings for us to show weakness, then in you swoop. Here to help? What rot? All a ploy to make us lower our guard, let you in, put ourselves at your mercy, put us in chains, steal our lands, get your revenge. You're wrong. That's not what any of us want. Save the arguments for later. We've got bigger problems. I found empty medicine bottles and a bed that was still warm. It's true. Licinia was hiding her sick sister inside the house. But now there's no sign of either of them. Where are they? Where did they go? Away from you and yours, and if you think I'll tell you, you're a fool. I'd never give up my people. Trying to help them, you idiot. Her sister's ill. The empty bottles prove it. So the medicine ran out, or she put it in her pockets to make it easier to carry, or to avoid the sound of clinking glass. There are beasts everywhere. How could you let them go alone? To protect them from you. Because again, we're in Garlemald, where everyone's brainwashed. You invade our homeland, tainted with the same source we used to slay our countrymen. A Garlean should sooner die than suffer the insult. Better for them to flee, keep their purity intact, than be corrupted by your vile magics. We were waiting for a chance to free them since the moment you arrived. This is getting us nowhere. I cannot say how Licinia and her sister will react when we find them, but find them we must. Go on without me, both of you. I first need to tend my injuries and theirs. I will join you in the search after. Alright, be careful. I mean, he's a sage now. He has 4 floating guns on his back. It's one of those, like, you know, like if they turn on you, you just shoot them a little bit and then you heal them afterwards because you're a healer. Like, this is a fantasy game. They can survive a couple pellets. Unfortunate. Unfortunate that they would attack us when we're trying to help. 2 sets of fresh footprints. Young women, judging by the size, it's definitely them. Come on. But all Garleans believe is that, like, magic is bad. Why? Because Garlemald doesn't have access to magic. It's only the savage nations that have access to magic, so obviously it's evil. Magic brings about the primals, the icons, they know them, which bring about destruction and ruin. They have every reason to be skeptical and suspicious. It just doesn't make sense for them to attack after we gave them like stuff to keep them warm. Like, we already took care of them. Like, we didn't need to, like, the trail stops at the frozen lake. Perhaps they choose this route to not leave footprints. I can't think of any other reason. Let's look at this place. It's crawling with beasts, and I can only imagine how hard it is to cross the ice with the ailing sister. Really do with Alphino's help, but we can't afford to wait for him. Let's split up and look for clues. Clues, not cools. That's a really big circle. Anyway. So yeah, them, half-buried set of paper. Half-buried piece of paper. The wet paper half buried in the snow appears to be a flyer for a theater group, though the runner shows has long since ended. So yeah. As far as they're concerned, we are the enemy. We've invaded. We've, you know, come and caused issues and so on and so forth. Fresh blood. Bloodstained snow appears to be fresh, judging by the amount the victim may have been severely wounded. The trail of blood leads southeastwards. Hey. And we're gonna find them surrounded by monsters. I see someone laying in the snow. Oh, it's the little sister that was bleeding. Sad. The two bodies are already cold. Oh, they were both bleeding. I didn't see her blood. They took the radio with them. Like, you're avoiding monsters and you took a radio.
Blood trail. We found one. They were attacked. No. Why wouldn't they?
Safer to brave the wilds than trust in our magic. We should have... We can't leave them like this.
What if we're only making it worse?
Maybe we don't belong here, but neither did...
What if we are indeed only making it worse? We show up with two corpses. I guess not.
I heard the story about Varus's voice from beyond the grave. Of course, I didn't believe it, but Licinia and her sister did. Perhaps there is something to the tale after all.
Perhaps.
I want to understand. So I'm going to borrow this for a while, if that's all right. You had every reason not to trust us. We came as trespassers, invaders.
Trespassers.
But I pray that in time, we will be more than that to you. That we will find a way to help your loved ones. And see that no more children are left to freeze alone in the snow.
I wish there was a way to turn on the text auto advance, but just for the voiced cutscenes, and like leave the non-voiced cutscenes to having to like press through them so I have time to read them. There must have been something we could have done. There's nothing we could have done. Should we have never come here? Would they still be alive if we hadn't? No. No, they wouldn't. Alphino's resolve might be shaken, but he has not forgotten his duty. Duty. We have already caused enough harm here. Let's return to the camp before we cause any more. As for those inside the house, we should send someone to take care of them. Someone who isn't us. All we can do now is make our report and do everything in our power to prevent further tragedy. So let us linger here no more. Come to me. I'm just gonna. Also, the aetheryte here looks really cool. So the Garleans seem to have made some kind of like non-magic aetheryte, and look, it has like machinery and stuff attached to it. Looks sick as hell. Go to the gemstone trader real quick. How do I get the riding map? I've done enough fates. Where to buy riding maps? No. Close. Endwalker riding maps. 6 fates with a gold rating. Oh. Whoops. Okay, so I guess we're doing more fates as we go to quests. And then we need 70 gemstones. All right. So I was wrong. It's 6 fates, not 3. Happens. This is the first time I've ever tried buying riding maps like this anyway, so like I was bound to not be explicitly correct. First go. Way forward. Speak with Lucia. Alice and Alphino told me they finished their preliminary search for survivors, but refrained from saying much more than that. Clearly, their reluctance to provide details. Might I ask for your account? Yes, you may. We got 2 kids killed. We tried saving people, and their group got 2 kids killed.
Thank you for your report.
Because they're idiots.
We shall inform the
Well,
troops of these developments and instruct them to proceed with the utmost caution should they encounter any survivors.
Allow me to go and speak with the ones at the victor's spoils. They may be more willing to listen to a fellow Garlean and accept our offer of assistance.
I pray you are right. And though I am loath to burden you any further, should there be an appropriate occasion to speak of Licinia and her sister, please do so.
I am sorry to have put you through.
My distress is nothing compared to their suffering. So tell me, what else have we learned?
As you may have already heard, we have succeeded in curing the members of the Populares. Maxima identified. They have provided us with some intriguing insights into the current state of Garlemald.
Intriguing.
The assassination of Emperor Varus was the catalyst for the civil war. Nerva declared his claim to the throne, and his opponents refused to recognize it. Fighting broke out in the capital, where Nerva's Third Legion clashed with the First, who remained loyal to Varus even after his death.
Of course, even Imperial warmongers would balk at the idea of turning their shining city into a battleground. Like burning down the wood to spite the wasps. Neither side would be so mad. Unless something or someone inflamed their animosity to such an extent that they could not help but act against their better judgment.
It brings to mind events at the Gimlet Dark, does it not? The Emperor's sudden withdrawal. Nerva and his father, Titus, Varus's then political rival, took advantage of rumors that Crown Prince Xenos had been possessed by a demon.
Which he was.
What better way to disparage your enemies than with the truth, or a close enough approximation?
Indeed. But before their accusations could be substantiated, many of Titus's followers were silenced. While some were merely stripped of their status, others died under curious circumstances. One after another, suddenly and suspiciously.
Again, Elidibus. Like as not, he had a hand in it. No evidence was found to implicate Varus, certainly. Nevertheless, Titus, Nerva, and the Third Legion would have judged it a brazen attempt by the Emperor to rid himself of his political enemies. And then, in the midst of this growing turmoil, Varus Sosgalvis is murdered.
By Xenos.
And Garlemald's own prodigal son, Gaius van Belsar, is named the murderer. Shortly thereafter, Nerva claims the right of succession, and in response, the First Legion claims the assassination was part of a coup d'etat orchestrated by Titus and Nerva.
The web grows even more complicated.
So no one is at fault, and everyone else is to blame.
Kind of like being a teacher.
I should add that both parties received substantial financial backing, presumably to provide them with the means and encouragement to pursue a swift victory, and that these contributions came from the self-same benefactor.
I'd heard House Brutus had been filling the Third Legion's coffers, but the First...
It would seem so. Though the Populares determined that the First Legion received funds from a variety of organizations, all had connections to House Brutus.
Which Fandaniel is currently the head of. Because he took the body of...
Fandaniel, in the
what's his
guise of
name?
Asahi, was playing both sides against each other the entire time.
That was his name. Asahi, whatever.
The information we gained from my friends does not end there.
He was a garbage
One
character.
night, shortly after fighting broke out, the capital was shaken by an immense tremor. From that point onward, they have no memories, no recollection of any events, including our clash on the Magna Glaciers. But when asked about the Imperial Palace and its bizarre transformation, they somehow recall Emperor Varus giving them orders in their dream. May the Tower of Babel stand as testament to the glory of Garlemald.
I understand.
This sounds awfully familiar.
I get it.
We have something to show you.
Varus spoke to them through this radio. Perhaps it was a recording, but if not, that would be inexplicable.
I know what's happening.
We are of one mind, then.
The ether that permeates the ore used in this device is almost identical to that of the talismans.
I see it. While it is likely more by coincidence than design, these devices might also ward against a primal's influence. A picture is beginning to form. If the tremor felt throughout Garlemald was a wave of ether emitted by a primal, then while those within range would have been tempered, those huddled around a radio desperate for news concerning the Civil War would have been spared.
No wonder Licinia kept it close.
My friends! A young man was caught trying to steal our supplies. He is a soldier of the... Thankfully, Magni restrained him before blood was spilled.
I think we do.
Before we go further, when we destroyed the Tower of Zot, in the tower's core was an arm or something. It was an appendage of a body. I think, this is just me thinking now, and I could be totally wrong, but I think they cut up the Emperor's body and used his body to be the pieces of the core of the tower, which is why the towers are broadcasting the signal that is telling everyone to follow to the glory of Garlemald. I got it.
Who do we have here?
Garleans? Traitors to your homeland!
I am Lucia Junius, a temple knight of Ishgard.
Iulus Pier Norbanus. And that's all you invaders will get from me.
If I was a person in this fictional universe, I'd slap this guy silly.
We are not here to invade Garlemald. Far from it. Like you, our allies in Eorzea and the Far East fight in defense of their lives and their loved ones even as we speak. But it is the people of Garlemald who have suffered most. This we know. And that is why we have come to offer you our aid, that we may unite against our common foe.
Lies, all of it. Traitors. Blah.
Whether you believe me or not, those are the facts. Now, why
Answer
would
me
a
this.
proud soldier of the Empire be reduced to stealing? The situation must be dire indeed for you to go to such lengths. If it is supplies you seek, we would gladly share ours, or turn a blind eye while you leave with your spoil.
I will not negotiate. My commander will determine how to deal with you and yours.
Yeah, how? We have magic and big angry men with axes. We will kill your commander.
If you wish to treat with him, I will take you, but no more than 3.
So obviously I'm going because I'm like a demi-human at this point, or a demigod, like
I don't
one
much
man
like the
wrecking
sound of
ball.
that. But if we do accept his proposal,
Please allow me and Alize to act as envoys.
may I ask why?
We have seen with our own eyes the hardships the Garleans face, how their futures and lives hang in the balance.
It's not the warmest invitation, but it's an opportunity to prove our intentions true. Maybe not a chance to make things right, but a chance to make them better.
I'm going with you. Look at that dude all smiley. Like he ain't tired of all his shit too.
I can see that persuading you otherwise is a lost cause, but you will proceed with the utmost care.
At most.
Couple of children and what? A cell?
Not in the least. You will find that they are more than qualified to speak on our behalf.
There are many dangers on the road ahead. I will need that back.
And then he's gonna shoot one of the twins because he's a jackhole. And that's all we can expect from the jackhole. You'll be received as invited guests, so I urge you to observe proper social etiquette and conduct yourselves accordingly. Can we do an Imperial Salute? Ooh. Your safe return takes precedence above all. Remember this. Thancred in particular will be worried sick if you're gone too long. May the Fury watch over you and keep you. So Thancred's going to be shadowing us the whole time. Got it. Are you and the children ready? I'll explain the route once we're outside your camp. If anyone attempts to follow us, we will judge it as an act of hostility. We will not hesitate to take appropriate measures. I will kill you. I would expect nothing less. You have our full cooperation. Loser. That's what you are. You're a loser. Everything about you is loser. What are we gonna do, guys? With Julius. What kind of name is that? Alright, this is far enough. Listen carefully. We head over that hill, then follow the road until we reach Liminal Station 4. Children in the lead, I want you where I can see you. We do have names, you know. I'm Alice, he's Alphino, and last but not least, there's Bro. Bro, where have I heard that before? Oh, no matter, Alphino and Alice will watch the road ahead while we bring up the rear. You don't know, I'm the one that's been wiping the ground with all your friends. I wasn't lying about there being any danger, so you're run, not saunter. Run towards the station. If you even think about going for your weapon, the deal's off. Should any creatures bar the way, we go around them. Oh. Yes. So we're not even fighting. We just need to do like wide circles around shite. Burst. Just give a wide berth here. Come on, guys. You're standing next to a freaking bear. This must be the road you mentioned. Well, this should lead to the station. Yeah, I'm guessing that is the station over there where we got that aether current earlier. Not the easiest surface to run on. So normally the main story quest or main story scenario will take you near most of the aether currents. So we could have waited till, you know, we were taken to them, but might as well just get them while we can. We'd better not draw attention. And of course, here's where we get attacked. That's the station, I presume, obviously. Ooh, what if those weren't cars, but they were actually like they were like vehicles that went on rails for these stations? Maybe there are no cars. Maybe it was all... Oh, nope, there's a train over there. Never mind, there's cars. We're here. The Imperial theme. This is it. First stop, that is. Good, it looks like your friends knew better than to follow us. Right. Are these your head? No, they're not. It's going to be that other, where that aetherite is. No, we're stopping here so I can check for pursuers. Since it appears you've kept your side of the bargain, we'll carry on. And obviously, again, Thancred is somewhere behind us. Wait, what did he say? North of the station is Regio Demorum, one of the main residential areas, or at least it was. The afflicted roam the streets in packs. They'll tear us to shreds if given the chance. Keep close, no wandering off. Understood? Great. Awesome. Julius knows only too well the danger that lurks around every corner. Woohoo! From here, we'll be heading northeast, keeping to the left of the railway. While the route itself is straightforward, getting past the hordes unseen is anything but. Keep your weapons at the ready. They would attack their own countrymen? Aye, they spare their own, but slaughter the rest without hesitation. Though we'll try to avoid detection, chances of sneaking by completely unnoticed are slim at best. I will lead the way, but in the event we are seen, you're to fight them off. Oh, so now we have weapons. Those two will follow us, provided they can refrain from drawing their weapons. While I doubt they would be foolish enough to stab their guide in the back, I will not take that chance. With that said, let's proceed. Great. I may not draw my weapon, but I might sick my chocobo on you to peck your eyes out. Look. Okay. So let's take care of this real fast. Weird. I love how I'm doing all the fighting while these noobs are just standing here watching. I see why your comrades chose you. Julius, our contingent has a cure for the afflicted, or tempered as we call them. Your people would need to be taken into custody that we may administer treatment. They would eventually regain their sanity. Is that so? For all I know, your treatment would simply force them to forsake one. No. As far as I and my liege are concerned, they're no longer our people. They're beyond saving. Those who thought differently and tried to reason with them were butchered for their bleeding hearts. Come, we have to keep moving. Of course. We're nothing if not murderously efficient. Why would we save our countrymen and kin when it is easier to forsake them? The runaway train. Okay. Oh look, they're being attacked again. Mm-hmm. So yeah, leveling as summoner has been so easy because it's just been this over and over. Like doing like main scenario quests and stuff has just been this, like between every one of the little encounters, your cooldowns like refresh. Looks like we're not being followed. We'll continue onward. Yeah. Like your cooldowns would refresh every single time, so you know I get to just nuke everything that I come across. I meant what I said. These people deserve only death. I stayed my hand before only out of a desire to remain undiscovered. That is still the higher priority. We should continue to avoid any unnecessary confrontations. Keep following the railway. Again, so this is really just reminding me of Heaven's Ward, which, while it was very pretty, the whole thing with Heaven's Ward and like the religious fanatics and wild, crazy, like talking about heresy and religious zealotry and, you know, burn anyone who doesn't agree with the religious masters and all that, like really turned me off to it. Oh, look, actual people who've been turned into monsters. So this is what happens when a tempered individual remains tempered for too long, by the way. According to the game, at least. Like, they were like, if someone is tempered for too long, they transform into monsters. Look what they become. Would you stand there and claim that they can be cured? No, those ones obviously are not. Those exposed may suffer severe corruption. Even with treatment, such victims are beyond salvation. Then you admit it. Now that you've seen these monstrosities for yourself, perhaps you'll think twice of speaking of a cure. You're so stupid, and I can't wait to just wipe your stupidity from your face aggressively. Looks like the town is underground. Seeing as, you know, we were just at an aetherite and there wasn't an aetherite. I'm doing great today, Gavidu. How are you doing? It's Wednesday. I keep thinking it's Thursday because tomorrow obviously is the last day of school this week. You've kept your side of the agreement, so I'll keep mine this way. How are you doing, my friend? How is the internet? Did you guys get any leeway on that? Your computer working well? Cool, it is underground. This is Tertium, one of Garlemald's largest stations, and now serves as our headquarters. I've already sent the twins ahead. I'll be with you soon, so wait for me at the bottom of the stairs. Doing pretty good. All right. It's pretty good to hear. Fat Chocobo, jump higher. Dramatic music. Whoa. Oh, it's plain to see why they chose this as their base of operations. They could have done a lot worse. Even so, I imagine it's not the easiest place to live. Indeed, and if Julius was willing to make the perilous journey to Camp Broken Glass search of food, their own supplies must be all but exhausted. They may be shielded from the wind and snow, but it's still bitterly cold. Much like Victor's spoils, it must be a constant struggle to keep their people warm. Lower your voices. While you may be here as my guests, the others will not take kindly to your presence. Who cares? I'll beat them up too. My commander is in the locomotive over there. The one with the doors. The hell. Internet's still the same. Cool. Pretty sweet. Now that you're an official PC gamer, make sure you go into the Epic Store every day to claim free games.
These are their chosen representatives.
Very well. Let us hear what they have to say.
Imposing commander.
Yes, sir. I present to you our commander, Lord Quintus Vankina, Legatus of the First Legion.
Oh.
The first? I had no idea you had...
That's a good opener.
We lost our emperor, our city, more than half our troops. For my wounds, I may never take the field again. But we survived, aye. In a manner much to your liking, I dare say.
We have no intention of adding to your misfortunes, nor do we bear you any ill will.
Spare me. Though you children may speak in earnest, overtures of peace ever ring hollow in my ears. So long as man stands to profit from his neighbor's suffering, war is inevitable. Driven from our ancestral homeland into this blasted waste. Yet still you yearned to rob us of our paltry scraps. 'Twas only with Magitech that you learned to keep your distance. Though we knew it was only a matter of time before you regrouped and returned.
My eyes are rolling so hard, I am at risk of going blind from them rolling into the back of my head and dislodging from my skull.
Conquest and empire were our only defenses. Emperors Solus and Varus understood this, and through their campaigns saw us grow and prosper. Much blood has been spilled in Garlemald's name, aye. But if it is a choice between yours and mine, then it is hardly a choice at all.
I do not deny that a great many conflicts throughout history were driven by the desire or necessity to gain by another's loss. That is not why we are here. Nor have we come to petition your aid in the war with the Telophoroi, grave though that threat may be. Our purpose is simply this. We wish to help you. Let us help you. If there is aught that can be done to ease your plight, we would be glad to do it.
Perhaps you would. But regardless of the ideals you espouse, if we accept their aid, they will expect their efforts to be rewarded.
Sorry, I read that really
Telophoroi
quickly.
are no longer a threat. But after compensation and concessions, the great empire would be brought to heel. Her enemies rejoice at her downfall. Our third eye, a mark of shame.
We won't stand idly by and let your people be humiliated. And we're not alone in that. We only want to make a difference, to make this world of ours better. Surely you can understand that. What I'm trying to say is, there are so many people who just don't care about making you suffer. And maybe that's almost insulting after all the suffering you feel the world has subjected your people to, but believe it or not, that's the truth. And now we're here, and all we're asking is for you to tell us what you want, what you hope for.
So much blood has been shed, so much lost. All because of this endless war. Who wouldn't want to end it? Can we not work together to face our problems as one?
Answer me this, young peacemakers. If a world without conflict is your desire, why reject the unity and prosperity of Garlemald? Is it because we do not share your faith? That we do not share your heritage? That our ideals and virtues differ? That we cherish and hold in the highest that which you do not?
I'm gonna venture a guess and say we didn't accept Garlemald because your country and empire continuously slaughtered all the people around the world who would not accept Garlemald.
Disparity is the root of discord, and peace built on compromise is flawed and fleeting. Happiness for one and all is a dream, and the reality is that to the victor go the spoils.
Fair.
That is why we Garleans will never submit nor surrender. For freedom and for pride, we will remain true to ourselves until the bitter end. That is my hope.
We don't need you to surrender or submit. We're trying to help. Not like we're saying, hey, join us or die. It's like
there is nothing more to... You will remain here while I decide what is to be done with you. Do not be alarmed. No harm will come to you if you cooperate.
how funny. Like, don't send anyone to follow you, but we'll take you prisoner.
However, as your guests, I ask that we be allowed to speak with the other members of your group.
As you wish. I had no intention of locking you up, as by dawn you would be frozen stiff and you're no good to me dead. You are free to move about the encampment, but there is one collar them.
What are these?
Incentive. You'll be watched at all times. Stray too far or act suspiciously, and we will administer a rather painful shock.
Why not accept the prosperity of Garlemald? This is how we treat people.
Stop.
It's almost
Keep away from that
cartoonishly violent.
The champion of Eorzea is not so easily cowed.
Yeah, I would keep your distance, dudes, because I can kill all of you.
Even if he allowed himself to be collared, the shock would be no more than an itch. No. If he refuses to obey, we will activate the twins' restraints instead.
You needn't worry about us.
We'll forget we're even wearing them soon enough.
Very fashionable.
Even now, you still... Why go to such lengths?
What is it all for? Well, we don't believe that it's worthless. Because even the most bitter adversary may once day see reason. On the coldest, blackest of nights, meager though as it may be, we must share the warmth of our fire. I don't want to share anything with you. I'm just gonna accept that you may eventually come to have some common sense. But if you sat next to me by a fire, I'd push you into it.
You are a curious one. A far cry from the merciless barbarian others paint you to be.
Yeah, because you've been brainwashed by your government telling you who I am or what I am.
Take them away.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have to be warden to the champion of Eorzea. One wrong move and I zap you into ash. Hope you were prepared. You hear the radio? I like that they have like that staticky radio effect going on. I also like that it's like the it's like a staticky version of the song that plays whenever like it's a Garlemald scene from like the previous expansions. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Julius has his orders, and pleasant as though they may be. As per Lord Quintus's instructions, I'm to supervise you during your time here in Tertium. Or you ask, no, I don't have a key or any other means to remove your collars, nor would I tell you if I did, and if you try anything, you will soon wish you hadn't. So, do you truly intend to speak with the others, or is that merely a ruse? We're in no hurry to disobey Lord Quintus, if that's what you mean, or perhaps you doubt the wisdom of his decision. Look at your face. Do as you will, but remember, I'll be watching. Yeah. If I catch wind of you doing anything untoward, trying to trick our people into turning their coats and the like, those shock collars will be the least of your worries, understood? Again, like, who do you guys think you're fighting? Though we're somewhat compromised, to put it lightly, let's not waste this opportunity. I suggest splitting up and learning what we can of their situation, and above all else, don't use magics of any sort. Yeah. Magic bad. Ooh. You, on the other hand, may go wheresoever you wish, even outside the camp. I know full well I couldn't stop you if I tried. Of course. Do not forget, if you do anything to endanger us or our interests, Alphino and Alice will pay the price. Of course. Octavia. It's you, Bro Django. I served under Lord Gaius in the 14th Legion. I was there on the night the Praetorium fell. You and your adventurers, you killed them, my comrades, my friends, swept them aside in their dozens as though they were nothing to you. They were. And maybe I am too, just another faceless enemy to be cut down. But it won't be long until our countrymen return, until you get what you deserve. Mark my words. Sure. So cold. Young soldier is on the verge of losing consciousness. Sucks. Can't help you. I know who you are, the so-called champion of Eorzea. Come to gloat, have you? I'll wipe that smirk off your face. By the blood of our fallen compatriots, I swear I'll... Ugh, and then you fall over. Or the sutures. Of all the times, the worst of the lot within striking distance, and I can't even muster the strength. If it weren't for the third bleeding us, we'd be the end of you. Right. Virgilia's treachery nearly cost Lord Quintus his life, but we made our escape, took shelter in a mansion, tended to the wounded as we prepared to strike back, and then night fell and we gathered around the radio. Then the roar, the terrible roar. The capital was in chaos, but we were spared. If you can call this a mercy, mind intact but body broken, a soldier in name alone, I'd cut you down where you stand if I could. Murderer. Yes, I am. Radio is the same model as one used Victor Spoil. Perhaps it is what saved the soldiers here from being tempered. Obviously. We've already covered that. Queso. Say so. I don't know. You came with Julius, didn't you? Well, whatever business brought you here, you'd best keep your hands off that aetheryte. It's deactivated, but I'd rather you didn't mess about with it. There are others throughout the city, built by Garleans, for Garleans. Could teleport all over the world in the blink of an eye, provided there was a terminal nearby. These days, however, we use the aetheryte's power to keep this place lit, though that comes at the cost of its normal function. So, the aetheryte's deactivated because it's a giant lamp. Do you learn anything of note? Everyone hates me because I'm a mass murdering butcher. Then your findings are consistent with my own. Their plight is desperate indeed. The sick and injured are at greatest risk. Without warm and proper nutrition, they fear they will soon perish. I realize there's special little we can do for them at present, but I cannot bear to see them suffer. Please, will you help me tend to them? How? I'm not supposed to use magic. How am I supposed to tend to them when I don't have anything to tend to them with? Am I just gonna rub them a little bit? Who's there? My eyes, I can't see all that well. Thank you. The numbness has subsided a little. But I know I won't last much longer. You should look to the others who can still fight. Give them my ration. Me going hungry means someone else lives another day, so be it. At least I can still serve in that way. Great. The blind one gave me her food. I love how freakishly tall you are. I am as tall as I can possibly be. Those you have met fare no better. I was afraid you would say that. I know we were warned against meddling in the affairs, but we can't learn. Perhaps we may gain permission to have the contingent deliver supplies. Quintus may have made his feelings on the matter quite clear, but even he must recognize they are in no position to refuse help. Maybe Julius could persuade him, though we need to persuade Julius first. Great! Let's persuade the dude who's too stubborn to see reason to see reason. Well, seen enough? No. I would like to see them all suffer. Julius. The people here have barely enough food and fuel to survive. Have you and the other soldiers been able to procure any more supplies? We've been scavenging provisions from the nearby houses, as most families kept, some stored away in the event that they're snowed in. Still going out and getting it is dangerous work, and we've a lot of mouths to feed. Fuel is a greater concern, though. We had some ceruleum set aside until it was stolen. We haven't identified the culprit. Could have been other refugees or one of the afflicted, for all we know. Either way, we're down to the last dregs. Without the heating they need, those in poor health are only going to get worse instead of better. If it's ceruleum we need, our contingent has already secured a ready supply. We can have some sent over. No, we will not accept your charity. If we can hold a little longer, the situation is sure to change. Yeah, everything will change. Right. Everything will change. You'll all be dead. One of your comrades mentioned something along those lines. Heard something, have you? Well, from what I've seen, there's little you could do to interfere, so there's no harm in telling you. One of our scouts spotted a hooded man issuing instructions to the afflicted, or in the bastard's words, loyal servants of the Telophroi. Then he made his way inside the Imperial Palace, or what stands in its place. We'd identified the seed of the enemy's power, we realized. Lord Quintus dispatched a messenger to the 10th Legion saying as much and instructing them to join forces with the provincial legions to prepare for a combined assault on the Telophroi. Once our allies arrive, your contingent will be sent running for the hills. Then we shall reclaim the capital by our own hand. And how do you intend to survive in the meantime? At this rate, many of your countrymen will perish long before reinforcements reach Garlemald. They need help now. Say the word and we will bring you ceruleum. I will speak with Lord Quintus. Whoa. And then he'll yell at you because we've convinced you. Ooh. So did he agree to it? No. Of course not. No, he will not place Garlemald in the dead of our enemies. I have, however, been ordered to search for ceruleum outside. As you are under my watch, you will come with me. So we're gonna go... He says many hands will make light work, and he says that we're more trouble than we're worth, because we're gonna help. Once we're outside, you'll follow my instructions to the letter. We depart shortly. Great. So either we're gonna go looting for the freaking ceruleum, or we're gonna step outside and he's gonna be like, all right, let's go to your friends and get some ceruleum. We will begin our search for ceruleum in Regio Urbanissima. Urbanissima. I like that word. The first location is Forum Soleus, a park to the northwest of this station. You are to remain close at all times and act only as ordered. Follow me. Okay. Are there any fates outside? Ugh, so far away. Oh, right, we're on the other side of the map. I should pull up the Aether Current map just in case there's something nearby. Garlemald. Oh. Here, maybe? Yeah, we'll be right next to one when we go to this quest objective. We will be right next to one. Hells yeah, brother. Oh, excuse me. I don't mean to be yawning. Yeah, there's one like over there. See? Look, right there. I'll talk to you guys in a second. I'm gonna go up this ramp and get this Aether Current because it's more important than you and your starving comrades. Woo! Aether Current, by the way. I know it's ether. Whatever the case may be. Are we gonna salvage ceruleum from the broken Magitech? So this is the park. I'm surprised they found space for one amongst all these buildings. Actually, the recreational areas came first. The houses were later built around them. A healthy society requires communal spaces for children to play and adults to socialize. The park was named after the founding father of the empire, Great Solus Zos Galvus. Did we come to extract ceruleum from the wrecked Magitech armor? No. No, we've already drained it dry. Same goes for the rest of the Machina in the vicinity. But as our ceruleum has been stolen, we must scour the city for every last drop. While I don't expect to find anything here, I've decided to try one more time in case something has been overlooked. I see. Then with your permission, we will commence the search. We're doing what is known as bleeding a stone. Shop counter. Anything in the shop? Not much of a shop, one may say. Though rather small by Garlean standards, the structure is reminiscent of a merchant stall. Perhaps it was built for children to play. There's nothing inside resembling Magitech or any devices that would be fueled by ceruleum. Great. Great. Great Scott. I wonder if one of the things I have to investigate is on top of one of these ramps. Seems like something, yeah, that side. Of course, it's on the side I already went. You know, the side with the Aether Current, because obviously the game always takes you to the Aether Current. Map of Forum Soleus. Several points of interest are marked on the map. Pawn shows player to your knowledge, however, none would require the use of ceruleum. Good to know. Good to know indeed. War Machina wreckage. Machina. A cursory inspection of the wrecked Magitech armor confirms that the fuel canisters have long since been drained of ceruleum, as Julius said. Whoa. Crazy. How could it be? Children's slide. Contraption is built in the style of Imperial War Machina, armed with configurations, but on closer inspection it seems to be no more than a children's slide. How is this in the style of a War Machina? What? I'm so confused. Doesn't even make sense. Help me. Help me, please. Nothing makes sense. Julius? It's so strange playing games on the computer because I don't know where the keys that much. Yeah, it takes a while to get used to. It's like me every time I try to play this game with a keyboard and mouse because I'm so used to this. Which is why I was getting so upset that the controllers weren't working. But now that I've got this controller, everything's working out. Tippy toppy. There's no sign of any ceruleum. Hardly surprising, but disappointing nonetheless. I couldn't help noticing you gazing at the pond. Is something the matter? What? Yes, I mean, no, It's just, I used to bring my brother and sister here to play. The pond was heated to stop it from freezing over, so like all the other children, they just had to wait and splash about. Would have stayed there if I didn't drag them out. We'd be sopping wet when all was said and done every time. And every time we'd get home, Mother would scold us, saying we'd catch our death walking around like that. If it was heated, then the ceruleum must have heated it. There must be a device somewhere nearby. Crazy. Any exciting? With a ceruleum-powered heater, by chance? I suppose it must have been, come to think of it. I remember seeing engineers changing out a tank beneath the hatch. But that was a long time ago, when the water still flowed clear and wasn't this brackish muck. We can't see a thing, and I can't remember where the hatch might be. With the machinery most likely broken, the amount of filth in there is probably the only reason it hasn't frozen over. I'd wager it's still unbearably cold, though. Julius, what are your thoughts on magic? The average Garlean would jump out of their skin if they saw it, but the first has a few foreign signiferi medici, so it doesn't scare me. And I take it you won't mind if I employ a little now? Alphino, as you have a knack for finding dry wood, why don't you bring me some? And once that's done, a blast of Verfire should do the trick. Leave it to me. You're not planning to go in there, are you? Of course I am. That tank isn't going to fetch itself. There's nothing so involved as tracking unprocessed ceruleum from a frozen lake, like how the tappers do it. We're talking about a shallow pond in a park, and we have a way of warming ourselves up after. But that's insane. So, fancy a dip? Great, I have to go swimming in that. Step aside while I drink the pond dry. That way we'll find it in no time. This may be the stupidest thing I've heard in a while. Thanks. And that's saying something considering who my brother is. I can't fault your enthusiasm though. Let's do it my way first, and if that doesn't work, perhaps then we can try your method with Alphino's help. Great. Oh, it's like knee height. I thought I was gonna go swimming. This ain't shit. We're in the rain. I mean, granted, the rain is not part of the story, but chilled to the bone. Ooh, I'm taking damage. It's actually hilarious because I'm taking damage, but I'm not in combat. So my out of combat health regeneration is more than enough to refill my health bar in between damage. Beneath the water, your fingers catch on what you think might be a handle. Potentially. I'm holding nothing. However, your grand discovery comes at great personal cost as you become acutely aware of the freezing cold and rancid odor emanating from every elm of your body. Great. Thank you, game, for, you know, making things comical. It's one thing I'm super glad about when it comes to playing this. Did you find anything? I hope you did. That's it. There's still some ceruleum left. Ah, the fire's still not ready. Hold on, I'll give Alphino a hand. Call me an Ulden because by fire I am reborn, and my clothes are mostly dry now too. I appreciate you recovering the ceruleum, but I wish you'd taken the time to discuss the plan with me beforehand. Despite the way you've been treated, in Lord Quintus' eyes, you're still envoys deserving of protection. If you were to die on my watch, he'd be most displeased. Your concern is duly noted, but all's well that ends well. Julius, you mentioned coming here with your younger siblings. Did you grow up in Garlemald? I did, not far from here. My father was an accomplished researcher in his youth, and for his contributions to the Empire, awarded an estate. We lived well, better than many. That was totally like a Legend of Zelda reference when you find something with the music and everything. Yeah, that's most games now. What was Garlemald like in those days? Everything. It was everything you could imagine, and so much more. Even during the coldest winters, we've always found warmth and comfort at home. Coming in from the snow, taking off your coat and sitting down for a hot meal with family, visiting friends and relatives, receiving that same welcome, knowing they had everything they needed, walking down the street, seeing the lights in all the houses, hearing the faint sounds of laughter and song, of happiness. And although the summers came and went all too quickly, in that brief respite, the ice would melt and the forgotten grass make its triumphant return. Gray clouds gave way to blue skies. Some mornings we'd climb on top of the tallest buildings we could find to watch the sunrise. Never again. Those rooftops are rubble, those friends dead, and those memories. But if I could reclaim even a fraction of what we once had. Soon our chance will come. We just need to hold out a little longer. Totally. Totes, dude. It's definitely how that's gonna go. Nothing's gonna go wrong. Got my word. Julius. Now that the fire is burnt out, Julius is ready to move on. Alright. Now that you've recovered from your escapades in the pond, there's another location I'd like to search just outside the park. Whoa, man, we already found ceruleum. You're gonna make us find more? That's not okay. Automated satellite. Weird. The two whitehead characters are siblings. They're twins. Look at them. They're boy-girl twins. As you can see, this place is littered with the remnants of various types of war machina. While my commerce have ever recorded those that took a more severe beating are harder to scavenge. We decided to save those for another time, that time being now. Rather than prize them apart piece by piece, it'd be quicker to remove the outer casing using compact explosives. With luck, we'll gain access to the tanks without rupturing them. Though the force generated by these devices is really weak, I would advise you stand well clear to avoid being hit by shrapnel. Before even bothering though, you should check the Machina's ceruleum gauge, see if there's any left. It should still provide an accurate reading even when the unit itself is inactive. If the gauge is broken, I'll let you decide whether to use an explosive or not. Should you need more, come to me. Great. Give me explosives. They are elves. No, there's tall elves. They're just supposed to be kids. Understood? Let's get to work. Like, I'm pretty sure Urianger is as tall as I am, if not taller. I think the elves can be taller than what I am. They're just not as bulky. According to the cerulean gauge, this unit's tank is empty. I'll blow this one up. It's empty. Oh no. Yeah, they're supposed to be children, so that's why they're short. Broken. Now they're completely empty. I'm gonna assume, right, that like we have to go to like the other end away from our dude Julius here to find one that actually has ceruleum in it. Thanks. Let's go to like the opposite end here to like this thing. There's two. How much you want to bet? It's half full or half empty, depending on your perspective. Okay. Cool. Apparently I only needed to get one tank. I was expecting to need two. They had 2 explosives. More explosives? Wait, is that what I think it is? You bet your tootie patootie it is. Well, you've done it again. Truly, luck is on your side. With this, we should be able to refuel quite a few of our heaters. It's time we headed back. Wait here while I go see how the twins are doing. And that's when we find out they were under attack. We're gonna hear a scream and run to their aid. Ready for the dramatic music? Oh, never mind. I was hoping for more.
Finally escaped the watchful gaze of your keepers, have we? Don't react. You'll only draw attention to yourself. Just carry on as you are and listen. After you left with the Garlean lad, Lucia bade a few of us scouts follow you at a discreet distance. We observed you being led into the station, but when you emerged sometime later, and we saw that the twins were sporting Magitech collars, it was clear what had taken place. Now, as quietly as you can, tell me everything. The Legatus himself, eh? This is also the first I've heard of a plan to join forces with the 10th and storm the Tower of Babel. An interesting development, and perhaps the opportunity we've been waiting for. Our comrades back at the camp also received some rather promising news, but it's still too early to get our hopes up. For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them. With luck, this will all be over soon. Until then.
They had not gone far.
We searched high and low, but no luck, I'm afraid.
I wasn't expecting much to begin with. For now, this will have to...
Cool. And we're not getting attacked. Phenomenal.
Ah, there you are. Brought back a king's ransom.
Hardly. But thanks to these three, we have enough to last.
Well, well. It's not at all what I was expecting, these ones. For savages, they seem positively docile. It's a poor attempt at humor. In all honesty, I'm grateful for your efforts. But even with another night of warmth, there are those among us who may not live to see the morrow.
I trust your expedition was fruitful.
Lord Quintus!
Use what you procured to refuel the armor.
But, sir, what about the heaters?
The time for action is upon us. My men and I have matters to discuss. In the meantime, you are to wait here. Do not forget, you are being watched.
The time for action.
I can only speculate. Clearly something requiring their magitech, given what we just heard. Whether they plan to utilize it now, or after they join with the 10th, is another question. Will they ever escape this cult? Return to and reclaim the idyllic spaces of which Euless spoke?
Euless?
Finished your war, Council?
Alphino and Alizé are to stay here as our prisoners. They will be released once your comrades have relinquished their supplies and withdrawn from Garlean soil. Until our terms are met, they will be detained at a separate location.
After everything we've said and done, this is how you treat us.
And they wonder...
Our allies have but limited supplies. They may stave off cold and starvation for a short while, but what then?
They wonder why we don't embrace the glory of Garlemald. It's like cartoonish how, like, how evil they are.
For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them.
Get them out of here.
Yeah, you're just a waste of space, just like the rest of your comrades. How unfortunate. Alpha no Alice will be fine, providing they do not resist. Once again, Euless has been entrusted with an enviable task. You'll accompany back to your camp, where I'll meet with your leader and present Lord Quintus' demands. Before we depart, however, there's something I would ask. Assuming your contingent complies, The supplies to surrender will need to be transported here. That task falls to Legionnaires Marcellinus and Octavia, who will pilot Magitech armor to your headquarters. You are to inform them they are leaving shortly. Tell them to ask the eel for further details in those words. Once you've seen to that, meet me by the exit. Great. Ask the eel, he said. Bye. So that's to be the way of it. After all this. How ironic that you should be the one to deliver the news. If those are my orders, then so be it. For the glory of Garlemald. Sounds like suicide mission. Or they're gonna just attack us on sight. What do you want with me? Asked the eel, so Lord Quintus has reached a decision. I knew he would understand. They would recognize the savage is a ruthless, merciless creature, and to defeat him, we too must be uncompromising. I am ready. In the name of the Lord Emperor Varus, for the glory of Garlemald, I will fulfill my duty. Yeah, sounds like they're gonna show up like rigged with explosives, trapped to themselves, and if we don't acquiesce to their demands, they'll kill themselves. Which, of course, the bleeding hearts that we are will either cooperate or, you know, as usual, have the Deus Ex Machina to foil their plans. I like the mystery and the intrigue part of the story. I don't like this. Have you done as instructed? Their duties involve more than transportation of supplies, don't they? Obviously. Duty is rarely a simple thing. We have been given additional orders, though. Whether we will be required to follow them depends entirely on your contingent. You and I are in this together. Now, like it or not, we have to cooperate. There is one other matter. Place I'd like to visit on the way to your camp. It's a short walk from here. Follow me. What a waste of space. There is a part of, you know, like negotiations and war and all that, where you get to the point where it's just like, okay, this is a lost cause. We're going to give up on it. And we should have reached that point with trying to reason with these guys a while ago and should have let them freeze. Would have saved us all a little bit of hassle. Can I get to this without having to fight this random enemy? Let's find out. Euless lingers from the ruins. Okay, so this is where his house was, I'm assuming. Where he grew up with his brother and sister and all that.
This is my home. Our home. At least it was until that night. I was with Lord Quintus when the capital fell, and thus spared. My family, who did not own a radio, were less fortunate. When dawn came, I made my way here. My parents, my little brother and sister, they were still inside. But they weren't themselves, and they tried to. And I had to. I'd promised to take them away from the capital that very morning, to somewhere safe, to hide until the fighting stopped. I promised.
Yeah, with all your actions since then, I don't feel bad.
The bonds between our countrymen. red link at its center. The blood of the fallen. Our loved ones who lived and died for Garlemald. But if she too fell, who would be left to remember them and their sacrifice? What enduring proof would there be that they were ever here? If we had turned to your gods, would they have saved us?
No.
I'm sorry, forget I spoke. We should go.
If you would have turned to me, I might have saved you. Since I'm as close as you're getting to a god. At least insofar as my character is concerned.
It's no use.
Believe me, I do not enjoy being here any more than you. But he wanted us to play along so that...
That is what we'll do. So cold.
Painfully so. Unbearably.
I've been thinking about what Quintus said. About why no one would accept Garlean rule. Irreconcilable differences. When coexistence isn't an option, only conquest remains. Varus at Gimlet said much the same. Only by uniting the world beneath a single standard would we rid ourselves of the Ascians. United as one people, one race cleansed of imperfections, a cold and unforgiving vision. And when we fail to live up to their standards, what place is there for us in their world? But the truly sad, truly frustrating thing is how damnably similar it all is to the lofty ideals of Father and the Forum. Non-intervention. Always non-intervention. Protect our knowledge and our people, and to hells with the rest of you. And yet, I can see how it happened. Varus and Father looked to their elders for guidance and took their virtues as their own. But for this world was of their making. In who else could they place their trust? All of us lost in a sea of chaos, searching desperately for purpose and meaning. But it shouldn't just be an extension of another's. It has to be ours. It has to be. We all have a stake in this world. No one should be silenced.
I won't deny that we lack the experience of people such as Father or Quintus. Perhaps they've come to see the world as a series of problems, and the most efficient way of solving them, to reduce everything to fundamental forms. A stone is a stone, a cloud, a flower, no more than that. Simple descriptions that strip the subject of distinguishing characteristics. A man is a man, divided according to race, creed, or allegiance, and to some, defined by such associations.
Is that what you think?
In my misbegotten youth. But what I believed wisdom was no more than aggressive ignorance. I've since learned to look beyond the banners and the politics, to see people as individuals with their own hopes and dreams. As for my dream of building a better world, well, every day I'm reminded that it is far more complex than I had ever imagined. But it only spurs me onward, to find the wisdom and the strength.
So you get through to the very end. Great.
All of our supplies and an immediate withdrawal. These are your conditions?
Demands. And you forgot about the airship. Once again, you will leave one behind. It will be used to return the prisoners. Their collars will be removed prior to the exchange.
So in the end, not even Father's expertly worded rhetoric could deter you from your chosen course.
Huh?
Not that I thought for a moment that it would. I've no love for violence, of course, but ours is a cause worth fighting for. I just wish he'd realize it too. Sometimes the only way to protect the ones you love is to take a stand, to refuse to suffer in silence. I want you to know I share your conviction. Whether it be on the battlefield or in the debating chamber, I won't back down. I guess
What I'm trying to say is,
You've found your own reason to fight.
great.
yes. Yes, I have. God's willing, there will come a day when we can finally lay down our arms, and there will be peace.
Character development.
But not until the Telophoroi have been defeated once and for all. And you, brother, will have a vital part to play. By your words and deeds, you'll lead the way.
I pray I am up to the task.
There'll always be naysayers. Those who think us fools for even trying. It's easy for learned elites to criticize earnest efforts and assert their moral superiority, all without offering alternatives. Not that their sophistry has ever wounded you. So stubborn and strong. Stronger than you even know. Don't ever change, you hear me? If you stumble, I'll be there to catch you. Or give you a thick ear. Maybe both, for good measure.
Thank you, Alice.
And there's Estinian.
The scouts have secured Alize and Alfeno. Their collars were removed without complication as well. They report no casualties, not for their party nor the guards who will wake from their premature slumber.
It would appear the situation has changed. I propose new terms. We have information that will be of great interest to Lord Quintus, and I wish to speak with him in person.
Oh no, because here's where the two Magitech armors come to attack us.
No. In the event you rejected our first proposal, we came prepared with a second.
Ambush!
More are coming! Make ready!
We, the loyal soldiers of the First Legion, proud servants of Garlemald, of the fallen Emperor Varus, shall safeguard these lands from the barbarian hordes until our countrymen return!
Knock his ass out.
Stop! Both of you!
This child may be the worst emissary I have ever seen.
We received an urgent communication from the Grand Company of Eorzea. Envoys from the Imperial Army, led by members of the 10th Legion, came to Alamigo and requested an audience. They explained that their efforts to coordinate the reclamation of the capital with the aid of the 4th, 5th, 8th, and 12th had ended in failure. Communication between most legions has broken down entirely. Most of the 10th's conscripts have deserted, leaving their forces severely depleted. That is why, unable to continue the fight on their own, they and their allies turned to the Grand Company of Eorzea for aid.
Lies! Every word!
It is the truth, and I have not finished. The 10th has requested that we deliver a message to Lord Quintus. Have the ill stand down.
You have been listening, my lord? What are your orders?
Inform her that we will honor the 10th's decision. Bereft of hope, and now dignity.
That's what you get for being dumb.
I release you from your duty. All of you. I take solace, your radiance, in the knowledge you are not here to witness our debasement.
Whatever.
'Twas a grand, glorious dream we shared.
Ooh, feel
A
sorry
world
for
united,
me.
of peace and prosperity. We are ghosts, you and I, memories of days gone by. Bonds forged in blood that I will not see tarnished.
Oh, coward. Coward. That's the easy way out.
Quickly! We have to...
If there is still a chance that Quintus will...
I just hope we get there before he and his men do something rash.
Yeah, no. Alright. I gotta take a quick fiver because Ben's by the door whining to go outside. So... All right. Let's truck on through here. Much and more has occurred since we last met. As for determining what comes next, we must speak Lord Quintus. Good luck with that. With the immediate crisis averted, Lucia seeks to gain a clearer understanding of the present situation. Before we proceed, tell me what you know of the First Legion and the disposition of their forces. They suck. They were preparing for war while the refugees in their care were left to go hungry. A reckless, short-sighted plan that risks the welfare of the people they're sworn to protect, obviously. Nevertheless, we cannot compel them to accept our aid. If we were to arrive in force with the intent to do so, we would only incite panic, but perhaps they could be persuaded to follow one of their own. Go with Julius back to the station, have him lead the refugees here. Some may be unwilling or unable to leave, but for the time being, I'll take what I can get. Alpha No LSA and the scouts sent to extricate them should already be at the station. Understood. Yeah, be a little emo bitch boy. That's right. Because you suck. And your Legatus killed himself because he sucks. Aether current quest? Yes, sir. You're gonna accept this? But I will take care of it later, because we're here for the main story quest. Well, apparently I need to talk to someone right here, so I'll do that, and then I'll take care of the rest of it later. Unless we get lucky and it all just takes place right here. That would be wonderful. Suppose he must be the friend someone wanted to fetch. I'm not even paying attention. Yeah, my thanks for getting him to agree to my proposal. Do not misunderstand. I have yet to agree to any such thing. I merely wanted someone else to present during our talk. Very well, though I do believe my preferred deal would be a boon to us and they'll spark contingent alike. I used to work on Jaturna Platform G, you see, so I know more than most about the facility and its operation. That may be so, but your relationship to the facility notwithstanding, why should a Garlean such as yourself still be taking refuge in Tappers then? We've been led to believe that the former workers residing there were from other territories. You're right on the technicality. I was a supervisor rather than your typical staff. When the platform went down, it only seemed right that I stay with my crew. I always thought we were close, but living alongside them in Tappers End has made me realize that I took them and their skills for granted, and that's to say nothing of the blind eye I turned to their struggles. That's why I came to you. It's high time I be of some real use to them and everyone else if we're lucky. If we manage to get the platform back in working order, it'll dramatically increase our capacity to pump and refine ceruleum for everyone in the region. Sadly, we're more than a few hands short of full workforce, not to mention the lack of supplies, which is precisely where you come in. Help us get things up and running again, and you'll have your share of the ceruleum coming out of the rig. You couldn't come up with a more mutually beneficial agreement if you tried. So he says, what do you think? Yeah, considering what we just went through, I don't trust any Garleans. Yes, I'd be leaning that way myself. Ultimately, what he says about the potential benefits is true. Nevertheless, I doubt the higher-ups would assent to this. I suppose that's how it goes when you're dealing with military types. For what it's worth, I do understand the hesitancy to allow with someone else for a hostilation. Thus, part 2 of my proposal. I shall do you a service to prove myself worthy of the contingent's trust. I had a look around the fringes of your camp here before you arrived, and I've spotted a few ceruleum engines need repair. If I fix them up, your superiors would have no reason to suspect that I want to see you driven out. Less reason in any case. Assisting us with the use of local technology would go a long way, I'd imagine. That said, I've not heard anything about the ceruleum engines we've scavenged breaking down. It's not as if they're entirely useless yet, but I guarantee you they're not running as they should. Give me the opportunity and I can have them working more efficiently and safely. You are welcome to accompany while I do so. That way you can ensure that I don't get up to anything suspect, and then vouch for me with your superiors. I have no objections. I trust you will sense anything amiss. Yeah, I'll totally understand and see when he's like sabotaging something that I have no idea how it works. Totally. Put your trust in me. All right. Since he's gonna have us running around for a little while, let's just go continue the story. Since I can just come back and do that. Nice and easy like. Ooh. I won't make it there. It's already 10%. No way. Now, if there was something along the way, more likely. Bum, bum. Waddle along, you fat bird. We got places to be. I haven't looked at the Aether Current map in a while. Did we miss any that I could have gotten? I suppose we kind of missed one. I'll grab it now. It was right over here. There it is. Yeah, there's a compass. Obviously last stream I was using it to like find Aether Currents and stuff. But ain't nobody got time for that. Alright, there's one more north of us. But I'll just wait because I'll probably end up getting routed in that direction anyway. So, might as well just go do this. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, pew. No. You know what? Fine. You want to go? Let's go. Cool. I hope it was worth it. Strange little mechanical spider thing. Bro and Euless. We arrived just before you did, and too late. Too late for what? What's happened? It's Lord Quintus. He took his own life. Like a coward. After the news about the 10th, he relieved us of our duties. Then when he was alone, he... No, he wouldn't. Yeah, he would. You little bitch. Tancred and the others, assisted by the soldiers, have seen to the remains. In due course, shall the legatus be afforded a proper burial. He released us from our duty. He wanted us to be free to choose our own fate. Without him to guide us, yeah, you all suck. I have just this moment spoken with Lucia. We are ready to commence the transfer of the refugees here to Camp Broken Glass, should they be willing to accept our aid. Some would rather die, but most of us just want to live. Songs and standards be damned, we just want to live. Yeah, that's smart. We'll need to speak with refugees. They'll have to decide for themselves if they wish to come with us. If any would prefer to stay, we can have supplies brought over for them. It'll be a hard journey for the others, but we'll see they reach our camp safely. I can't go on. Yeah. Par for the course. I get it. I get the fact that, you know, we've myself murdered a lot of Garlean soldiers that have gotten in my way. I understand that. However, Garlean soldiers were in my way because they were obsessed with conquering the world. Their misguided ideals. It was only ever a dream, wasn't it, to think we would reclaim it, rebuild it all ourselves. Before this all began, I sent my wife and daughter away to the provinces. If there's a chance I might see them again, I'll take it. So take me. Take me with you, please. Smart man! Say so? Well, got the Aetheryte sorted in the end. All it took was a few adjustments, and now it works as well as it ever did. From what I can tell, the one in Laterum is also functioning as normal. That's where you lot are staying, isn't it? Now that most of us are packing up and leaving this place, I'll reckon there'll be more use for me and my skills over at your camp. Yes, sir, there will be. I'll just attune to this while I'm here. Gracias. Look at you guys being useful after all. You're not all a bunch of tools. Just most of you. Oh, the blind one's alive. I heard from the others that you're not from around here. I thought you were one of us. Not that it makes much of a difference now. Purebloods, migrants, savages. After a while, the words start to lose meaning. Until all you're left with is anger and fear and hate. And I'm too tired. If you and yours have come to offer aid, I'd be glad to accept. Good. And then Euless will be in the captain's cabin staring at the bloodstain. Oh no. Yeah. We have much to discuss. Our rescue, the attack on Camp Broken Glass, what we'd hoped to talk about with Quintus. But all of that can wait. More urgent matters demand our attention. Are any of the refugees willing to come to our camp? Yes, the smart ones. Thank the 12. Thank the 12. You and I should go first and secure the route back to Camp Broken Glass. With all the creatures and tempered skulking about, I expect we'll have our hands full. Cool. This should come in handy. Conqueror's Chain, courtesy of our Lominson friends. I'd save it for the tempered, though. I'll mark a few points that need surveying on your map. Once you've taken care of the riffraff, we'll meet back at our camp. Cool. I get to go fight things. Look at all the quests I have now. Look at them all. Almost like people are finally coming around to the fact that they need little old bro to help them out. Took you long enough. Azure-haired woman. I'll accept this because it's an Aether quest. Excuse me, sir. Have you seen a little boy with hair similar shade to mine? He's my son, and I can't find him anywhere. Oh no! It all started when I told him we ought to seek refuge in your encampment. He started wailing and sobbing like I'd never seen. Next thing I knew, he was running hell for leather goodness knows where. I'm worried that he may have left the station altogether. Yeah. The Garleans, so brainwashed that when the children are offered aid, they'd rather run into the nearest monster's mouth and die. Amazing. It makes sense. It's supposed to be your atypical, xenophobic, others-hating society. Like, I get it. I just think it sucks. But that's me. That's my opinion. It doesn't have to be anyone else's opinion. I just think it sucks. Compass directs 213 to the southwest. I feel like I could have been able to like get into this broke ass building somehow. Oh, there. Overtuned specimen. So an experiment. Great. Another block street. Who are you? Yeah, I'm the dude trying to save you. Mother sent you. Tell her I won't go to the enemy's camp. Children. Character's so distraught. Once again, he's taking flight. Weird side, you resume. Follow away from safety. No. Actually, fine. Because he's gonna take us kind of in the direction we want to go, which is in the direction of the Aetheryte. Perhaps you did lose me. Or perhaps I'm right here. Can't get too close now. I'll stand like here. $144 to the south. Is it up there? Can I even get up there? Dang it. Fine, you saw me. Great. I'm not gonna do it again. 85 to the south. Maybe it's underneath here. No, it's up there. How the hell do I get up there? Oh, I see it. Hey. That sounds like something big. Clomping around with its clompy feet. Do a couple hops here. Hello? Nothing up here to attack me. Like, I don't understand how common sense wouldn't have all the people around here looking up at that thing, and then when someone comes up and they're like, yeah, we want to fight that thing, they're not like, oh yeah, no, totally, let's team up. Instead it's like, enemy, traitor, blah. Like, go look over there at the thing that's going to kill you. We want to help you stop it. Please let us. Oh, whatever. Let's do this real quick. Yes, I will attempt to follow him. I'm following me. Ah, damn. I thought he had like a cone of vision. I was gonna get around him. Yes. Fair enough. I mean, we are playing an MMO, so it's not like I could, you know, really expect them to be like having super accurate cones of vision and such. Ugh, of course, this time we aggroed this thing. Okay, fine. You wanna go? Let's go. Let's go then. There you go. Good. Kind of what happens when you fight a dude that can pull a dragon out of his butt. We'll keep our distance. Perhaps. Could be the robot that's next to you. I don't know. I'm not an expert or anything when it comes to, you know, sounds that sound like the wind, but I'm sure whirring mechanical creature who can destroy you might sound like the wind. Oh, are you kidding me? My eye just twitched a little bit. Definitely got the eye twitch for a moment. Not going to, not gonna lie there. Definitely had a moment where I was ready. God. Okay. Feels good. Yeah. At least I know my route this time. Go through here. Hello? Jump? Perhaps you did. Or perhaps... Oh wow, he can see me from that far away. This game. Let's go. This blood pumping action on Wednesday night stream, where we follow a small child to his home. Can you turn around? I don't want to fight you. Turn the other way. Please? There you go. Must have been the wind. Crazy small child. Alright, this time I'm gonna go over here. Mm-hmm. Are you... Wow. Doesn't even go in that direction. He just literally peeks around that freaking car to look for you. Dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. This was the end. I got caught right before the end. Yeah, it was here. And then a war of succession broke out because your countrymen are all idiots. You again, leave me alone. I'm staying here to build a new house, bigger and better than the old one, with blackjack and hookers. Child has escaped your grasp yet again, though this may be construed as a particularly tiresome endeavor. Remember that he's only a child and knows no better. You should find him before he comes to harm. Yeah, we're gonna find him being attacked by some tempered. Because, like, that's how things go. It's gonna be like his father or something as a tempered trying to murder him. Oh, or it'll be this thing. Not as interesting. I wanted a heart-wrenching, gut-turning story of a child being attacked by his own father, who's been turned to the dark side. I don't care that you saved me. You're still the enemy. Wah. How would your mother feel, young man? Try to tell that to a kid nowadays in a classroom and they go, haha, suck a dick. I don't care what you say. Well, there you go. Square Enix perfectly encapsulated the modern day child. But mother's worried I should go back to the station. Great. If they did one thing right, it's that. That detail is absolutely 100% correct. We're on this side of town. Let's grab the last Aether Current. That's in this area. There's one more way off to the west from where we are, which honestly, I'll probably just go grab. Nice. I leveled just from the experience from discovering a new location, which means I was real close because that's not a lot of experience you get. Level 85. Woo woo. Halfway to 90. Well, between 80 and 90, of course. I should be like right on top of it. Oh wait, no. It's like here. You were just outside. Stop complaining. Hi, bud. I know. You don't actually want to go outside. You just want attention. Because you just want someone to love you. Hold on. It would seem that he has a tip. Boy. Ah. Had to go remove the tick from the dog. $89 yalms to the north. Ah, I see it. Inside this ruined building. I gave you a treat. That's all I had on me, dude. I didn't grab more. It was a one treat kind of day, not a multiple treat kind of day. There's a fate right here. Go do that real quick. Rampaging rotor. Let's wait for some people to show up, because I could do a decent amount of damage, but I can't survive a decent amount of damage. That's where other people come in. So give it a moment. It's an experience bonus fate, so people will be here. You know, leveling alt jobs and stuff like that. But I need to get you a little webcam. Put it right here. Whenever you sit next to me, just turn it on. Turn this into the Ben Django stream. Right? Anybody coming? Can't do it by myself. I'll start. Start with these guys. Oh, I didn't even hit more than one person. Okay. Well, just do one at a time then. Fate enemies are nice because they're not chained to other enemies. So like if you pull one, you don't end up pulling everything within 4 block radius. Like here, I can pull 2. Surprised nobody's here doing this. I know it's a little out of the way, but even then. Jeez, I'm dying. Oh. Okay. Like this one took itself out of aggro distance, so like it left combat because of how far it went. See, like it's leaving combat because of how far it's going. Nobody coming? That's kind of sad. This is why I want to level up warrior, so that way I can do dumb stuff like this. There we go. There's somebody. A lot of people. Looks like it's a group of people running fates. I'll just keep contributing as much as I can. There you go. Got the gold, and that's all that matters. I'm just gonna use the aetheryte. And then I'll run up, hand it in, and then loop back around. You know, I forgot about that other aetheryte far off to the west. But whatever. Realistically, at this point, time for us to call it a day anyway. So Friday, I talked about this on Monday. Friday, we will still play some Kingdoms of Amalur. It may just be a little bit later because there is a Path of Exile event going on that I didn't even realize was going on for every Friday for the next couple of weeks. So we're going to play some Path of Exile, and if you have linked your Twitch account with your Path of Exile account, you'll get free portal effects by watching my stream on for 2 hours. So tune in for that, and come get your free drops. I also am interested in doing it because, like, I don't even have some of the portal effects that they're giving out. So I would love to get them for myself because I think portals are that one bit of MTX that, like, I'm really fond of because of the fact that you can assign random portals to your characters. So, like, even if you only have 2 portal effects, you can assign random to, like, your character. And whenever they open a portal, it can be any one of your portal effects. So it lets you, like, see cool things that you've gotten or earned or found, whatever, more often, which I think is amazing. So that'll be Friday. Start with Path of Exile, transition over to Kingdoms of Amalur. Saturday will just be full steam ahead in Ghost of Tsushima, and then Monday we'll be back in Dark Souls. So that's our plan for the next couple days. I will not, as of right now, I'm not planning and most likely will not do any extra streaming over the Christmas break week that I have from school, you know. So I will very likely just keep to my normal schedule and spend Christmas break just working on some stuff I've been meaning to catch up on. Maybe finally put some time into my own stream layout so I don't have to use this one, because as cool as it is someone else's, and I'd like to, you know, put in the work to make something for myself that's more personal. So with that said, I hope you guys had fun tonight. Hope you enjoyed the stream and enjoyed the story where it's going. Obviously, I'll probably play a little bit more over the weekend and tonight even. So by the time we come back next week, we'll be probably in a new zone doing new stuff, and I'll just update you on what happened since then. It's always good seeing you guys. Have a great evening. Keep cool and keep yourselves wonderfully amazing as you always are. Peace.